Coming up right now, the White House reveals exactly where that white powder was found, and it might contain the key to unlocking the owner's identity.
Also coming up, be sure to keep up on those emails that are important to you. The big changes coming from Google. We'll explain.
And a little bit later on, is third time the charm for a former housewife? Find out why she re-added her married name to social media.
At Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
Hi, I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to our Daily Flash show. So glad to have you here. Now, we feel complete, so thank you so much. Actually, we're not complete until we say hello to Matt Doolittle. Hi, Matty! We'll be checking with you. What's the word of the day today, Matty?
The word of the day is fartlek.
Fartlek.
It is the activity runners do when they change between sprinting and jogging. That's a real thing. Fartlek.
Fartlek. Well,
How do you spell that?
yeah.
Fartlek.
Can you use
Sure.
it in a sentence, please?
I fartletic this weekend.
All right. I think we better slow down.
We better
before
move
we get
on
in trouble
quickly.
here.
I just saw this report that the Miss Universe company has filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
Which is interesting because a transgender celebrity / activist took over the company,
remember
bought
that.
it for $20 million last year, and now they're saying, look, we've got to file for bankruptcy. You know, the money's not there. We're struggling. And this year they just had 3 transgender contestants in the Miss Universe.
This past weekend,
pageant.
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the question is that stirring people in a different direction? Are they backing off from the pageant
I
stuff?
think, well, you know, we talk about transgender athletes in sports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd imagine it's that same possible animosity they might have, saying, look, you know, I want to be a woman. I've been, you know, the people that feel like they were born a woman
Yeah.
have always been a woman. Maybe there might be getting some backlash, much like we're seeing, as I mentioned, in sports.
And we've talked about this too. It's like, well, then have your own pageant,
And maybe that's
have
what-
your own sports, category, and then that way it kind of takes the question out of everything.
That's a good point. And you say the same thing about the elections. Like having a third
Yes.
option for everything might fix everything altogether.
It's true.
Think about that. All right. Guess what? Photos have surfaced of that cocaine that was discovered in
Cocaine,
the
yeah!
the devil's dandruff. Little white stuff, powder, the goodies. A small baggie, it contained about 1 gram of the white substance, visible inside of a locker. Cubby number 50 requires a key, and the report says the key is missing. Oddly enough, there are cameras in the locker room, but this little cubby was, well, located in a blind spot. The investigation was closed after just 11 days without identifying any suspects. The agency said that it was unable to find the culprit after FBI forensic testing failed to turn up the fingerprints or sufficient DNA evidence. This is inside the White House.
Yeah.
By the way. However, the Secret Service confirms there is a secondary DNA from fingerprints that they found on the baggie, which they are keeping in a very secure vault, but lost the key to it. Maybe, I don't know.
Amazing.
Apparently these keys just go missing. Who knows? Substance which originally tested positive for opioids and amphetamines, later tested positive for cocaine, caffeine, and baking soda.
What the?
No, one more thing to note.
What is
here.
that?
I don't
What
know.
does that mix? What does that do for you?
That's a lot of white powder. That's what it is. The initial report said that the cocaine was found in a library, then near a situation room, and then finally photographed in a cubby. We're never going to find out who it is. 50 years from now, we will, and it's
Yeah.
not going to matter anymore. I think they know who it is. This is a political, I mean, whatever side you want to sit on, and it's political. And no matter who is in office, I don't think this information would ever come out.
Yeah, well, it's a guessing game at this point. First, it was in the library. Then it was near the situation room. Now, all of a sudden, it was in this magical cubby. And the key has oddly gone missing. I mean, it's one of those things. I am amazed that they can pick out a speck of a human being on a security camera that was, near the White House on January 6th,
Yeah.
with a hand on a fence. And they can identify the hand and who it belongs to. But they have no idea who this alleged cocaine baggie belongs to.
I think they have an idea.
Yeah,
don't
I
even
think
wanna
they
come out
do
and say
too.
who it is. Come to find out, in my envelope, it was Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick. That's who it was.
Let's find the guy that's got a deviated septum walking around.
I think
We all know a guy.
I think we all know who
We
it
all
is.
know.
Yes. It's a obvious
There's no
choice.
mystery here. It's just that this information's never going to go out. But
No.
which only leads to, okay, then I'm going to continue to believe I think who it is.
Well, the question is like, if they've got this secondary DNA evidence and they're keeping it on the side, what are they keeping it for? Is there something that they're going to say, all right, we're going to release this
Political
unless
gain,
you do
I
X, Y, and Z?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And again, it's politics, so anything's up for it.
Okay, don't let this news get lost in your inbox. Google is scheduled to delete inactive Gmail accounts as a cybersecurity initiative, which will go into effect on December 1st, so just a few days away. Any account that has not been accessed for 2 years could be erased, including Google Workspace apps like Drive, Docs, and Photos. The reason? Well, older accounts are a target for hackers, and most don't require two-factor authentication. The new policy will only impact personal accounts. School and business accounts will be exempt. The easiest way to keep your Google account active is to sign in at least once every 2 years. Users are required to sign into Google Photos separately to preserve their images.
Do you hear that, Mom and Dad? Sign in at least once or twice a year. That's not that far away. This reminds me, one time, one of our friends, she needed help with her computer, and I go, well, do you have email? And she's like, no, I have Gmail. She didn't know the difference between email. And to this day, I laugh about it.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you, people just, they sign up for it. They don't necessarily maybe not log in because they're like, I only use that for certain things. You might lose all that, so check that out. Could the third time be a charm for this former Atlanta housewife? Kim Zolciak continue to light up social media with rumors that she's actually getting back with her estranged husband, Kroy Biermann. Why? Well, she added her married name back to her social media bios. Kim's name change came months after she dropped his last name from all of her accounts following their messy split. The on-again, off-again couple, who have filed divorce twice this year, appeared to have hit the pause button on their latest breakup. They just celebrated their 12th wedding anniversary. The estranged couple had been hashing things out in all their specifics for their second divorce filing when Kim publicly agreed that their marriage was broken with no help or even hope of reconciliation. And I think they even went through some issues with the real estate, with the home.
He just had to sell his Rolls Royce because they're broke.
Gosh, can you believe that?
Oh, gosh, golly.
Well, and the best thing to do is to liquidate as much as you can when you're going through a divorce, saying, look, I don't have that much. Apparently on that Rolls Royce, he owned $100,000 on that.
He owed $100,000?
He owed $100,000, so he has to at least pay for at least some of it. So it ain't
Well,
gonna
I hope
go
they get
away.
back together and work things out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we all
Andy,
do.
Yeah.
Andy Cohen's putting together another series for them. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, instead of splitting it
Divorced
up,
back together.
Right.
Like, it's going to be a whole series.
Marlon Wayans is opening up about embracing his trans son Kai. In a recent interview on the Breakfast Club radio show, the actor and comedian said his eldest child, now 23, changed their name. At first, he said the changes were a challenge for him to accept. The comedian and actor said he hopes to impart a strong sense of confidence and freedom to all his children, including Kai and his younger son, Sean, now 21. Wayans has never shied away from sharing news about his children.
You know, and that's a good come out as a father. You know, you love your
and
child no matter
support.
what, and you might not agree with it, but you say, listen, I don't understand it, but I support you, and you know, if you need to talk to me, here I am.
Yeah.
And to go public is a big thing. So good job, Dad. All right, we think actually we have a pretty good idea of who is actually going to wind up in the next Super Bowl in Vegas.
we do.
So we wanted to actually call up the big guy upstairs for the answer. Hello, God, can you hear me?
Sí, mi hijo. ¿Qué quieres ahora?
Oh,
What?
he's Spanish.
What? I didn't understand.
He's
Different show.
bilingual. I love it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, my bad. Wrong Mitch.
Oh.
I have the answer to your question.
You have the answer. I haven't even asked the question yet.
Well, are you questioning me? Just look at the logo.
Oh, well, we want to find out. Oh, the logo.
The logo.
So we can know. You heard it from the man upstairs.
Oh.
Check out the logo. Get this. There's a conspiracy out there that says the logos for the Super Bowl will actually tell you who is actually going to be in that
it.
year's game way before ahead of
No.
time. Sounds a little odd until you see it firsthand. I want
Okay.
you to look at these. These are the Super Bowl logos of the last few years.
Okay.
Okay, you had the Bengals taking on LA. Look at the colors that they chose a year ahead of time. Same goes for the Eagles in Kansas City. You see in the green, you see in the red. So this year, they're speculating it might either be a toss-up between San Francisco and Baltimore. Here right now are the potential matchups. The Vikings taking on the Chiefs, 7-2. Maddie, are you in on this?
Yeah, I'm for it. You know, when I get it, and the teams that they're thinking are going to be up there, Yeah, they're right on. The 49ers and the Ravens are both really good this year.
I don't think Buccaneers Ravens are going to be one. They have.
Oh, God, no.
Do we have the colors? Do we know what the colors
Yeah,
are?
they're in the. Yeah,
Oh,
if we
they
can pop
were.
that graphic back
Oh,
up here,
I'm
you'll
sorry,
see.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see that there's a little bit of purple at the bottom
Yep.
and a little bit of red. Okay,
Oh.
so they're using the colors of
Yep.
San Francisco and Baltimore. Baltimore's
And you're bringing in both teams from both coasts to Vegas.
to Vegas. So
Because
Got
the
it.
Raiders sure as heck ain't going to
Could be Vikings too.
So the
but
first two was the last year, and so we're speculating that it could be San Francisco and the Ravens this year.
Interesting.
So we'll see. If it is, there is a huge conspiracy going on. We'll have to call up God again. And I'm sorry
so
what
nice
I did
to
last
chat
night,
with,
God.
So nice to
God
chat
is
with
bilingual.
God.
More Flash, more fun after this. You know, the holidays could be a really challenging time for newly separated or even divorced parents. Joining us now with some advice on co-parenting during the holidays season is licensed marriage and family therapist Arisha Somarski. Arisha, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily Flash. There's no doubt that separation and divorce is ever easy, especially during the holiday time, and actually could add a lot of tension. And you have some tips that are really going to help out families that might be in this situation. Let's start off with the first one. You say plan ahead. What do you mean by that?
So yes, planning ahead can be very helpful for co-parents. It really allows co-parents time to discuss what's important to them and what's important to their kids. When people plan ahead, it allows everyone to know what to expect, which really decreases anxiety and confusion and increases a sense of calm and ease.
Yeah, I think anytime you plan, even if you have a normal family, I shouldn't say normal family, but at least a family situation, just plan ahead will take out a lot of that anxiety. So I agree with you on that. Your next tip is saying focus on generosity and flexibility and not necessarily competition. Are we talking about competition between mom and dad?
Absolutely. It isn't about creating a sense of fairness, but instead creating the spirit of generosity and flexibility instead of competition and conflict. Kids are watching us all the time, and when they can see that their parents are working together, they get the sense that their family is still together, that they still have a family, and they can enjoy the holidays without added stress. So this is a really perfect time to demonstrate and to model these values to your kids.
I think this next tip that you have can pretty much go for any situation when you're in this type of situation. But you say keep this all about the kids. Why is just the kids going to be the main concentration?
Right, you want to really focus on the kids. You don't want your kids to feel split in half or to feel guilty or that they have to take care of either of their parents' emotions. Instead, you want to focus on creating positive memories, legacies, and traditions that your kids can take with them into their futures. Because the holidays really, it's about having fun, it's about creating family and positive memories and eating good food and relaxing. So, and kids want to play with their toys. So, focus on the kids and they will have positive memories about the holidays.
100%. You talk about those positive memories, and I imagine if they're a part of it, of making new things, which is your next tip about creating new traditions, I think that they'd probably hold stronger to it. But what kind of traditions are we talking about?
So create new traditions. Yes, for some families, and for some co-parents who are not celebrating the holidays on the exact calendar date, it's really important to think about creating new traditions on alternate calendar dates so that your child can still celebrate the holidays in the way that you want to with them. This way you can enhance these positive memories. And they remember the experiences, they remember the feelings, they don't remember the exact date.
Yeah.
And so, also what kid doesn't want to have 2 holiday celebrations?
I agree with you on that. And I think, obviously because of Thanksgiving being tomorrow, but you think about Christmas when there's families that have been divorced, they get to have those 2 Christmases, but maybe it should always be that way for all of the holidays. I love that idea. Having a bonus son myself, I could see the benefit from that. It's really, really good. Your final tip, I'm wondering, is it really geared towards the parent or the child when you say self-care?
So this is geared towards the parent. So this can be a hard time for a parent who doesn't have their kids over the holidays. especially early on in the divorce, and it can bring up feelings of grief or loss or feeling alone or anger and resentment. So I suggest really getting out of the house, connecting with your community, with your friends, with your family, and lean into experiences that bring you joy. Pamper yourself. I mean, who knows? Maybe this is the time to start to explore the world.
That's actually a great point. And I would imagine if this, especially if it's your first holiday, big holiday on your own, you're going to feel left alone, especially if your children are over at the other parent's house. I want to talk about the kids, though. What do you do when a child says, look, they don't really want to spend time with maybe you or even the co-parent? They don't want to go over and do that. What do you do in that kind of situation?
Yeah, this is tricky. So the first thing I usually recommend is connect to your child. Bring in a sense of curiosity so that they can really feel seen, heard, and understood. You want to get a sense of what their feelings are, what their concerns are, what their thoughts are. The second thing is really to honor your co-parenting plan agreement and value the time that you and your co-parent have with your child. You can maybe bring in some ways that your child can stay connected to the two of you over the holidays. And the third idea is, depending on the age of your kid and depending on the relationship you have with your co-parent, for teenagers, maybe this is something you can talk about, around changing up the schedule so that everyone's needs still are considered.
I would imagine that it's a confusing time for kids. I would imagine that. So would it be confusing, or is it a good idea for co-parents actually to spend the holidays together?
Well, if you and your co-parent can be in the same room for an extended amount of time without any tension or conflict, go for it. If not, I would suggest coming up with a holiday schedule that works for everyone so that your kids can really enjoy the holidays without that added stress or conflict.
Well, what do you think, though? I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you spend them together, is that kind of giving a false sense to the child, or that, hey, maybe they'll get back together since we're all good? Or does that mess up with, would that mess with the child's mind or of the situation?
No, I think that for kids, it can really help them feel like we still have a family, and this can be a really positive moment to celebrate the holidays together, but only if the co-parents can operate in a way that there's no tension or conflict.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
but
I'm sure you have even more ideas in your book. And if you want at home more information about Orisha and her book, Cooperative Parenting for Secure Kids, all you have to do is go to her website. It's orishaslomarski.com. Check it out. Thank you so much for joining us. We have some more Daily Flash waiting for you. Stick around. It comes up right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Here's Fabian Marcano with this week's The Beat.
Hey guys, Big Time Rush just released the deluxe edition of their brand new album, Another Life, which was originally released over the summer, and the band is continuing the celebration of new music during the iHeartRadio album release party, and fans across the country will be able to celebrate along with them. Another up next on the beat, we got the Kid Laroi. He's celebrating a new release of his debut studio album. It's called The First Time. Check this out. The Australian has just shown off his talent in this music industry over the years. Over and over again, he shows us what he's really worth. And at 20 years old, where it seems the sky is just the limit for this singer, there's so much more to come. And to end this celebration, the Kid Laroi performed some of the biggest songs, including Stay with Justin Bieber, his latest collaboration with Young Cook and Central C called Too Much, and Kids Are Growing Up. And sure they are. Kids are definitely growing up, just like me. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we have Travis Baker. This is pretty outstanding. Him and Kourtney Kardashian welcomed their first child together. And now the Blink-182 drummer is giving fans a closer look to this special moment. Barker shared a TikTok showing himself practicing his chops to the beat of his baby's heart. The video was presumably taken into the delivery room, and it shows Barker setting up his practice pad and practicing his single stroke rolls in front of a machine monitoring Rocky Barker's heartbeat. And Kourtney also reshared the video on her Instagram story after it was posted, but some fans in Travis' comments weren't as charmed. The safe arrival of the first child came as a big relief, obviously, for the couple and fans, as they had a major scare in September when Kourtney underwent emergency surgery to save the baby's life. But isn't that a fun way to present life to this earth? You just start giving them a nice little heartbeat with some drum beat, and your dad's a singer and he's a rocker too. So, I mean, why not bring him into some good music? That's right. I'm Fabian Marcano and you just felt the beat. So be sure to check us out on Daily Flash Latino. Head to our website, dailyflashlatino.com to check our local listings and website and times.
Thanks, Fabian. Well, the holidays are coming up, and some of us will be cooking for our guests. But one thing, it's a big thing that's up for debate, and a lot of you out there have asked about this, is if you're using a recipe that has alcohol involved, does it actually cook out of your food? This is relevant for guests who might be sober, children, pregnant women, or just in general for their health. So is it true that the alcohol actually evaporates out of it? Well, alcohol does apparently evaporate during cooking, but not as much as you might think. Depending on the cooking method and how much you use, anywhere from 4 to 85% of the alcohol may remain in your dish.
Wow.
After 15 minutes of cooking, about 40% of the alcohol remains. Even after an hour of cooking, about 25% is left, and 10% remains after 2 hours. Experts advise that for guests in recovery with alcohol use disorder to just not cook with alcohol or serve food that even has the taste of alcohol in it. So that's a big debate when you know somebody's coming over, or you may not even know someone's in recovery. Obviously, if they're in AA, they're not going to talk about it. So do you still make those dishes with the alcohol in it?
Well, first off, Yvonne, when she found out that the alcohol stays in it, she got all excited. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
I was always told my whole life,
It goes away, and we've
Don't
heard
worry
that
about it.
forever, that it evaporates out, but I mean, the study just
And
came
for
out.
like 25 years, I wasn't drinking. I go, oh, okay, it's out of her.
Yeah.
Now, maybe a dinner might have pushed me over the edge.
Well, the main thing is, even if you have the taste in it, that can trigger people to relapse or anything like that, and especially pregnant women that are trying to
That's a good
keep
point.
everything. So for those holiday dishes coming up, obviously as we hit Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the all the shindigs, just make sure maybe don't do the alcohol in those meals if it's not just you and your significant other.
The bread pudding that you always make every year, I think you put the alcohol in afterwards.
Well, because it's Jameson bread pudding, so it's just bread pudding with Jameson
Hey, I'll
dumped
tell you
in
where.
it. So.
You go to Jack Daniels. They have a whole recipe of stuff that you can do. I'm not joking you, and it's really good stuff. But keep that in mind. I learned something today, Maddie.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
it is true that there
More
is alcohol.
Flash after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Oh boy, when I read this story, I'm going to share it with you. I'm certain we're going to be divided about this. Here's
Okay.
what happened. There was a girl. She's 23 years old. She lives over in England. She's jumping on a plane to go
Got
to
it.
San Francisco. It's a 13-hour flight. Okay, so she's heading over here. We've all been on those really long flights.
Yep.
Well, she is flies this airline very often, so they upgraded her, and she got to sit first class. How great would that be?
Yeah.
Transatlantic first class.
Of course.
Well, she wasn't the only one. There was another a couple, a mother and father, that they got upgraded, but they were traveling with a 10-year-old son.
Okay.
But the 10-year-old son wasn't eligible for the upgrade. So the mom and dad asked this girl, this 23-year-old girl, saying, hey, would you mind giving up your seat so my kid can sit up here? And she's like, absolutely
Giving up
not.
my upgraded
Nope,
first class seat to San Francisco, which is a 13-hour flight. Absolutely.
Okay,
not.
so I'm gonna do it quick. Would you have given up the seat? Raise your hand,
No.
really quick. Anybody?
No.
All right, we'll tell. Anybody?
No.
Neither one of y'all. All right, it's control room. Anybody in the control room give it up? Nobody?
No.
Matt, would you?
There's
There's no
you're 10
way.
years old. Just enjoy the
Listen,
back.
just because you are a horrible parent and leaving your kid back there and coach, why should I? And so everybody thought, well, how, on the surface, you're not that kind of a good person. She was bombarded with people saying, you made the right choice.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Good,
They were
good.
all on her side about it
Good.
all,
In my
which
family
made
would
me
have
feel
been,
better.
my dad would have been stuck there back with me. My mom would have been like, well, I'm
Yeah.
going to go up here. You enjoy.
You know what?
Jim, you go back there.
Well, why didn't the parents
That's
stay back?
100%. If I was the dad, I'd say, hey, look, why don't y'all two go up there? I wasn't expecting to go on it anyway. Y'all go up there, mom and son, and,
Yeah.
and enjoy the flight.
If it meant that much to them to have the kid up there, but quite frankly, exactly. Like a kid doesn't care about first class or coach.
You can't drink.
You know, exactly.
What do you give me a wet rag for?
Yeah, what is this? I
Now
don't
the
get it.
hot fudge sundae cart would have been an issue.
That would have been neat.
Yeah, but
And and here's another thing: the parents they could have split it up. First, the 7 hours, the first person,
Oh,
the mom,
sure.
and then they could have switched. So there was a lot of things they could do instead of asking this 23-year-old
Yeah.
first time she's got to fly first class. No, and I hope she enjoyed it and nobody gave her a bad time.
yeah,
So
well, I'm glad that
I'm on her side.
I'm glad that she got a lot of support on that one.
She did a
Yeah.
lot.
Interior designer and former Queer Eye star Tom Felicia is raising awareness about a complex blood cancer. Here's more.
Thanks for having us. 10 years ago, my brother was diagnosed with myelofibrosis, and it was, we had no idea what it was. He had no idea what it was. It completely came out of left field. And it was a very scary moment because it was very difficult to get any information on this rare and complex blood cancer. I was then quickly identified as my brother's bone marrow donor, and we started down that journey. But it was a very scary moment, and for many different reasons. And the reason that I have teamed up with GSK on this Mapping Myelofibrosis initiative is specifically because of mappingmf.com, the website, which is an incredible resource, an educational tool. It has shared stories from doctors and patients and people that are helping patients. It's a really strong and incredible community connection that I think is really, really important.
Yeah, and this is a rare disease, a rare blood cancer that affects every patient differently. Starts in the bone marrow where your blood cells are made, overproduction issue where you get scar tissue that forms from all this inflammation in the bone marrow, leads to a variety of symptoms, abnormal blood counts, fevers, chills, night sweats, bone pain, abdominal pain. And what's unique about this is it really affects every patient differently. And so, no two patients are the same. They could have widely variant symptoms, but yet get the same diagnosis. And so when you have a rare disease and variable symptoms, it becomes a real challenge to get good information. And that's what this Mapping Myelofibrosis initiative does. You go to mappingmf.com. You can find out a lot more information, really be your own best advocate as you tackle this difficult disease.
And you can go to Mapping Myelofibrosis on Facebook as well. Thank you.
KSA Entertainment is proud to produce and provide a robust collection of entertaining, uplifting, and timely content to broadcast, cable, and streaming platforms in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. KSA Entertainment. On point, on air.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. There is a new skincare regime that could turn back the hands of time and supercharge the look of your skin. Here's more on the new procedure called microneedling.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yes, we recently completed a study that we will publish in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology next month, showing a significant improvement in the aesthetic results and reducing downtime following in-office skin pen precision treatments when patients used the BioJuve Skin Biome Care regimen compared to a generic skincare regimen, leading up to and then following their treatments. And what the study found was that those that followed the specific regimen with the BioJuve products saw an accelerated healing process and minimal downtime following the skin pen treatment, as well as better overall aesthetic results due to the overall skin health benefits that happen when we have symbiosis within the skin ecosystem.
Yeah, it's astounding. Through over 10 years of research, we've learned that balancing the skin biome is essential to skin health. Just like balance in the intestinal biome in our bodies is key to gut health, it's the same principle. BioJuve has a one-of-a-kind living Zycrobe technology that enhances the skin microbiome for healthier, younger-looking skin, and the study found that combining skin pen microneedling plus BioJuve was able to show a significant improvement in patients' texture, tone, fine lines, wrinkles, and the appearance of acne scars in those treated areas. And what's so impressive to me as a dermatologist is the difference it made with patients' recovery. Anything we can do as doctors to improve results and reduce downtime is going to be a huge win for our patients.
And that's why we're so excited to be talking about it with you, because these findings really mark a significant milestone in aesthetic dermatology, paving the way for innovation in skin biome-based approaches to improve skin health following popular aesthetic treatments overall. It really will shape the future of skincare and aesthetic dermatology treatments because these therapies together offer more effective solutions for patients looking to enhance their skin health and in turn get more benefit out of aesthetic procedures with less downtime and less discomfort.
I agree. To learn more about biome-boosted microneedling, you can visit skinpen.com/biojuve.
Looks like the holiday retail season, it's here, and shoppers are eager to find that perfect gift for your friends and your family. Here's lifestyle expert Marissa Brani with a few of her favorites. Hey there, Marissa.
I have some great gift ideas, starting with the viral TikTok sensation for the kids. It's the Tractor Supply 12V zero-turn ride-on mower toy. It has a clear compartment that simulates actually mowing the grass. And for the parents, Tractor Supply has a full line of Yeti products. And right now, Massage Envy is giving you a $20 promo card when you spend $100 or more in gift cards through December 31st. This is valid in location only. Each location is independently owned and operated. For all things cozy, search Bedshore on Amazon. Their Amazon store has hundreds of cozy items, from blankets to bedding to wearable, fuzzy, cozy hoodies, perfect for a night in with the fam. And last but not least, holiday lights are great, but the tangle and hassle, not. So Govee Outdoor Permanent Lights, the first self-installation outdoor permanent light solution with 16 million colors to choose from and weatherproofing. You can find all of this at marissabrani.com on my blog.
All right, good stuff. Thank you there, Marissa. All right, tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Oh boy.
You know, my favorite holiday. My kids aren't around. They live out in Oklahoma, so I don't get to cook for them as much anymore. So really, Thanksgiving's always been my favorite holiday of all time because you get to cook. However, there's always, when you go to a Thanksgiving, that's maybe not yours that you're not putting on, there's that one dish that is always served that you can't stand and always gets plopped on your plate. Do you have one of those?
Green bean casserole.
Really? You know how many people say that?
Oh,
no, I'm dead serious. There is a sort of out of everything green bean casserole.
Really?
And is that the only time of the year it's made?
And it's at every single Thanksgiving feast. The darn green bean casserole.
I love green bean casserole.
Do you really?
That and ambrosia salad. What about you at home? What's the most disgusting thing at Thanksgiving? Drop us an email, flash@dailyflashshow.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'll share it on the air. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Cruise expert Colleen McDaniel has joined forces with Norwegian Cruise Line to share some of their best Black Friday deals. She's got the details on the most popular destination, as well as why cruising is still the best value for your vacation dollar.
The holiday season is just around the corner, which means now is the best time to start planning your 2024 bucket list family vacation. With the ability to unpack once and wake up in a new destination every day, cruising makes it easy for families to plan a fantastic vacation and explore popular summer destinations like Europe and Alaska. With more inclusive pricing versus land-based vacations, cruising remains the best value for your vacation dollar, and Norwegian Cruise Line is sweetening the deal with its Black Friday offer, which is available to book now. NCL is providing travelers with 50% off all cruises, plus their free at sea offer, where guests can enjoy up to 6 free perks, including unlimited open bar, free round-trip companion airfare, and much more. The Black Friday sale applies to all NCL itineraries and ships, including the new Norwegian Aqua, which is due to set sail in 2025. For more, visit ncl.com.
Hey, are you looking for that perfect tech gift? Well, we got Mark Saltzman. He's got some really budget-friendly ideas for us. He's joining us, believe it or not, all the way from the North Pole. Hey there, Mark.
Hanging out here with the elves at Santa's Workshop, who are making some great games and gadgets and gear for the holidays. So why don't we first get our game on? It is one of the biggest holiday seasons in gaming history. For the first time since the launch of the PlayStation 5 in 2020, PS5 consoles are in full supply at retail. So players and gift givers can easily get their hands on the console this holiday. In fact, PlayStation is introducing this month a new, smaller model of the PS5 that delivers the same performance and features and supports all the same blockbuster games like Final Fantasy XVI, FC24 from EA Sports, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. One of my favorites of the year. You get to play both as Peter Parker and Miles Morales in Marvel's New York, an expansive city. I love the new Web Wings feature we just saw there. PS5 starts at $449 and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 costs $69. Speaking of games, Crash Team Rumble for PlayStation and Xbox is an all-new take on the classic Crash Bandicoot. It's 40% off, leading up to and over Black Friday at only $29. This family-friendly, team-based multiplayer game features the iconic heroes and villains of the Crash universe as they battle it out across wild and dangerous arenas, as you can see. And there's cross-play too, so if you're online, a PlayStation gamer can take on an Xbox player, for example. As for what television to play on, the Philips 4K QLED Roku Smart TV. This is awesome, not just for its starting price of only $279, but offers outstanding color because of the quantum dot technology, as well as crisp 4K resolution, and of course, it's got the Roku platform built in, so you can stream to your heart's delight. Every Roku device comes with countless hours of free entertainment, including over 400 free live channels and Roku originals. With the Philips 4K QLED Roku Smart TV, you get best of both worlds, a stunning TV with easy streaming access and a ton of content to consume. Finally, something for the little ones, the Leapfrog Magic Adventures Telescope. It lets junior astronomers focus on the moon at night or nature during the day, and be amazed at what they can see with up to 110 times zoom on this real telescope. Plus, you can capture and save images of your fascinating discoveries. But unlike other telescopes, kids can activate more than 100 amazing videos and images, courtesy of NASA, that deepen space knowledge by exploring the solar system, star life cycles, and constellations, to name a few. And there are space-themed games and cosmic cards to explore with out-of-this-world visuals and facts. The Leapfrog Magic Adventures Telescope costs just $89. Well, there you have it. Great gadget and game gift ideas for kids and kids at heart.
Well, holiday time is here, and that means entertaining and gathering is pretty much always in the kitchen. It's the favorite room in every home. Here with functional and spectacular ideas on upgrades and updates is lifestyle editor Joanne Butler. Hey there, Joanne.
Hi, thanks for having me. Well, if you're a foodie or a home chef, Signature Kitchen Suite is for you. It's an award-winning luxury built-in appliance brand, recognized for their precision and performance and just giving home chefs all the tools they need to really prepare and preserve foods in the best ways possible. This is the star of the show. It's the 48-inch built-in French door refrigerator. Look at this thing. It's a first of its kind with precise preservation technology. It's huge. It's amazing. It's an entertainer's dream fridge. It just fits everything you need in there. Great when you're cooking in advance and you want to freeze everything, or you're like me and you want to prepare everything on your platters and your trays the night before and store it overnight, and then when your party comes, you just pull everything out. Voila, you're done. I love this thing. Look at this unique design. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It comes in stainless steel or these panel-ready beauties, which blend right in with the rest of your cabinetry. Absolutely gorgeous. My favorite feature, though, the convertible drawer. Look at this. This lets you set to 5 different temps depending on what you're storing. Chilled wine, deli meats, cheeses, you name it. You can even turn it into an extra freezer. And look at this. It also has a special ice drawer that makes both regular ice and the large round awesome craft ice to just elevate your drinks next level. I love it. And it has built-in Wi-Fi, so you can control it wherever you are right on your phone. Hey, make this cooler. Turn this drawer into a freezer. Done. You're done. Love it, love it, love it. Another thing I love, the under-counter wine fridge. This is great in a kitchen, but you can really put it anywhere. It holds 41 bottles of wine. It has wine cave technology to protect from vibration, light, changes in temperature, humidity, all the things that can damage your wine. Just amazing. Now, let's talk countertops. They're truly the workhorse of the kitchen. You know, you want something beautiful, obviously, but also durable. Silestone by Spanish surfacing leader Cosentino is for you. Look at these. They look and feel like natural stone, but they're handmade sustainably with a technology called Hybric that uses 99% recycled water, 100% renewable energy. But the best part, you don't have to worry about the etching, the chipping, the staining, the scratching. It's just, you know, amazing for cooking. It just looks beautiful, but, you know, it's going to last. And you can get all Silestone in all sizes at Home Depot, right at the Home Depot. And when it comes to color trends, it's all about bringing neutral palettes in a modern, contemporary way. And they have the most incredible range of colors. Like this is the Ethereal Indigo, Snowy Ibiza, and Toscana Cream. Just beautiful, stunning. Look at the detailed veining. It looks like real marble, but it's not. So just amazing. Now, a lot of people ask me, why is the kitchen, the thing? Why is that the place everyone congregates? I don't know, but it just is, whether you want them to or not, guests will just go to the kitchen. It's just the heart of every home. So that's why it's really the best place to add value to your home. Cosentino actually did a survey and found designers and consumers, both confirmed that the kitchen continues to be their number one priority when they're renovating. And it's where they dedicate the largest percentage of their budget, actually. Think about when you're buying a home. Everyone looks at the kitchen first. So really investing there is always a win. It'll always be worth it.
Thanksgiving is a day filled with food, football, and family. While you and your loved ones spend time together, consider talking about your family health history. Here with more information on how to have health-related conversations with loved ones are Ashley Dedman and Susan Manley.
Breast cancer impacted 3 generations of women in my family. On my mother's side, my mother had metastatic breast cancer. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. My father is a prostate cancer survivor. And so knowing this information, I was able to take this back to my doctor. And at the age of 21, I found out that I carried the BRCA2 mutation. And with this information, we were able to create a blueprint for my standard of care moving forward.
This kind of genetic test is only ordered by a healthcare provider. Once the test is ordered, it's a blood or saliva sample. If the test comes back positive, a patient and their healthcare provider can better understand the risk for specific cancers so that people at high risk can really avoid cancer altogether or detect it early when the chance for survival is greatest.
This information can also be shared with our children and our great-grandchildren and our other loved ones so that it can help inform medical decisions with their medical team.
We have lots of great information on our website, myriad.com/knowyourhistory.
Earlier in the show, we were talking about Thanksgiving and things that you can't stand. Do you guys have any traditions at your house? Or
I used to have one where my dad would make this bread stuffing, but it would stink up the house for 3 days leading up to it. It was the worst.
Well, now, if it was stuffing, it had to be dressing, because the thing about dressing is it's supposed to be kind of dry yet fluffy at the same time. But imagine after a few days.
Now that he's passed, we just go to a buffet. That's what we do.
All right, so is that a tradition?
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. That's what
Jackson,
we're
what do you do?
Monopoly used to be a big family tradition.
Oh, okay.
After the big Thanksgiving meal, we would play all hands on deck Monopoly game, and it would get down and dirty.
First Thanksgiving that I had when I became a single dad, I had all the kids, and I said, listen, did you ever see that movie Signs?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, he's like, what do you want? What do you want to eat? And they had spaghetti and turkey and all that. I did that. I said, I'm going to make whatever you guys want.
Didn't you have blue mashed potatoes in
I think it was something along those lines, yeah.
Wow.
We had one son that loved pizza. I had another son, and I said, I'm going to make a turkey no matter what. We had pizza, lasagna, rolls, like the big rolls. Okay. And because I would make these rolls, handmade rolls, it took like a day to put them together. And they would proof up and all that. Anyway, best Thanksgiving ever. We want to hear from you, though. Drop us an email. It's flash@dailyflashshow.com. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so make sure that you're safe if you're doing some traveling, okay?
Yes.
Be good,
Peace
everybody.
Everybody take care. We'll see you when we look at you. Here's some of the folks that make this show as great as it is. And we're thanks for giving us your time. We'll have more Flash tomorrow on Thanksgiving. So tune in. We can't wait to see you.